All right, good stuff. Good book, actually. Legitimately, like usually I just say that. It's actually a good book. On Killing Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman. I reference him quite a bit. Smart guy. It's lukewarm. That's lukewarm coffee. All right, got some mailbag questions. See what we got here. Doing pretty good with the time stuff. Facial hair looks awful. Hair looks awful. I don't even know where the camera is. Is it there? It's there. Saturday morning. Gonna have some toast. Not right now, obviously. There you go. Hopefully mow the lawn. Questions. Real questions, not fake questions. Really good questions. Really good questions. Let's do some serious questions first and some funny ones. There's a couple of ones in the funny one, or the non-serious ones that I really want to pick. But it's random. It's random. Gotta play the game. Coffee or die. Let's see what happens. Question 1. Why does communism not work? Zach asks. That's a great question. That's honestly probably maybe the best question ever. Communism does not work as an economic system because it plays completely against human nature. That one, in communism, the government basically decides who gets what. They control all factors of production. They control all industry. That doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Because in a free market system, individual citizens are free to choose what they do with their income, what they do with they control the factors of production. People always have a higher incentive to work when you have to work. If things are just being handed to you, eventually you have a system that promotes laziness, and that's what happens. When you know that you're going to get a paycheck and you're going to get home, regardless of how little or how much you work, all of a sudden, even those individuals in society who are inherently hard workers look around and realize, wait a minute here, Johnny over there hasn't worked at all. He gets the same as I do. Why should I work? And eventually the system collapses in on itself because you just have no one that you've de-incentivized people's ability to work and to innovate and things like that. There's more reasons why communism doesn't work. There's numerous YouTube videos and things like that. You can take entire college classes on that. So I'm really summing down a very complex answer to or question to a pretty simple answer. Which there's danger in doing that, but at least that's one reason. It de-incentivizes work, incentivizes laziness, goes against human nature. Government is always more inefficient at allocating resources than private sector, etc., etc. Second question. Were there any other agreements made at Yalta besides splitting up Germany? There were. Hayden A. Great question. One of the other agreements at Yalta was, one of the other major ones was that when there's a period of time where both the United States and the Soviet Union would oversee, quote unquote, some rebuildings of some of these war-torn nations. That once they're ready, they would then have free and fair elections, and that we would honor whatever those results of the elections would be. We did that in the West, United States, France, Great Britain. We all honored those things. In Russia or the Soviet Union, they did not. So these elections were rigged elections, or they allowed them to have elections. That was one of the other promises made at Yalta that was not fulfilled by the Soviets. Great question. AP. What is the Truman Doctrine? Some confusion on that. The Truman Doctrine is basically kind of containment. It's the idea that we'll come to the aid of any nation who wants to establish democracy. And so it's containment, essentially, just more of a specific term for it, that we would kind of stop the communist threat wherever countries ask for help. We'd be there to help them. That's essentially what the Truman Doctrine is. Why was FDR so convinced Stalin was a good guy? Hardcore Nick G. Ready for the next question. A lot of it was Roosevelt's worldview. Roosevelt was an idealist. He was not a realist. And Roosevelt kind of, I don't know. Roosevelt certainly can debate whether where you think Roosevelt ranks on the all-time presidential rankings, but one of the things that Roosevelt had a huge ego, and he thought very highly of his own intelligence. And sometimes individuals like that are phenomenal leaders. Usually they aren't, but they can be. Other times they aren't because they think that they're smarter than everyone. And that was kind of one of Roosevelt's problems, that he thought he was smarter than everyone, and he thought, well, no one, Stalin hasn't been loyal to anyone else, but because it's me, it's FDR, okay, I'm smarter than he is, I'll figure this out. And so there was this hubris to FDR, where he just didn't have the awareness of that, like, Stalin would actually, like, stab him in the back, and Stalin was not a trustworthy guy. Roosevelt was too much of an idealist, but also, like, Roosevelt's ego and his belief in his own, like, political skills and his own intellectual skills kind of made him naive to what Stalin really was. So that's a great question, though. Really kind of shake up, see if I can get some questions for the last few weeks, because now this box is getting pretty full. Let's see what we got here. Noah G. Didn't Stalin like ballet? He did, which, again, confirms the idea, like, human beings are just interesting in general. That Stalin can be a mass murderer who kills 60 million people, but on the same side can be an avid fan of ballet. Like, it's just weird. Hudson F. What would happen if Stalin took over? It's a great historical question. This is my final, the serious questions. That we don't really know. The best guess is in Soviet Union, he kills between 20 and 60 million people. Let's say he has all of Europe, and he has about double, a little over double the population then. The death tolls could be anywhere in the 80s to 100 million just by Stalin. Like, certainly more people are going to die for sure. The world's a significantly less safe place. I think Stalin gaining power would have definitely ensured a World War III happening, because once he saw that he already had, like, the power to take on the United States by taking Europe, what's going to stop him from actually trying to take the U.S. mainland? Like, and so Stalin actually taking Europe and Stalin actually being successful in taking power in the European sphere would have had disastrous results for Europe for sure. Europe would have been decimated. 20, 60 more million people, like, killed. For the United States, we would have won because we're the United States. But things would have been a lot more hectic. Okay. Funny questions, non-serious questions. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. Oh, okay. First one. Hudson. 2 in a row. What's your favorite food? My favorite food? If we're going to dessert food, it's apple pie. America. If we're going, like, more of like an actual food, it's pizza or tacos. It's a real depending on the mood situation, but I feel you guys understand that a lot of people, like, their food is based upon, like, how you're feeling that day. So I'd say either pizza or tacos. Like, if I'm choosing, like, a cheat meal, it's going to be one of those two. Steak is up there too, but it's got to be rare. Fresh off the cow. All right. Dina, if Apple made a car, would it have windows? That's good. That's good. Dina, that's good. That's a good joke. That's a good higher level, funny joke. I don't know if you got it offline. If you did, well played. Well played. Like, hey, are you going to get your haircut? Eventually, yeah. Like, it looks ridiculous. It looks somehow less ridiculous today than it usually does. But yeah, it looks awful. Like, it looks awful. So I will get a cut eventually. I'm not going to cut it myself, though, because that would just be a disaster. But there you go. Okay. Kennedy G. How do you make lemonade? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever made lemonade. I assume it involves lemons of some variety, possibly some sugar, maybe a water, to dilute it a little bit. I honestly don't know. Squeeze a bunch of lemons into a cup, add some sugar, lemonade. Maybe. I don't know. Arnold Palmer's are better. The combination of half lemonade, half sweet tea. Try it out. Don't know how to make that either, though. I don't know how to make that either. I don't know how to make any of these things. Sophie D, what does your glass of freedom taste like? Straight black coffee. Always very strong. Still lukewarm. Still lukewarm. Ooh. Arguably the greatest question in human history. Do you put cereal in the bowl before the milk or the milk before the cereal? Well, I put the cereal in first and then put the milk because I'm not a caveman. I don't know. I feel like if you're putting the milk in first, you're going to have a tough time figuring out the milk to cereal ratio. There's a certain ratio you have to hit when it comes to milk and cereal. Because if you have too much in there, the cereal gets too soggy and you want a little bit of that crunch. But on the flip side, if you don't have enough milk in there, then the cereal's too dry. And it really takes away the best part of the cereal. It's a good question. Like, I always go cereal first because then I can kind of figure out the proper milk amount after. Depending on how much, like, cereal I poured, not vice versa. That's a great question. We're going to go one more. Let's have a good one to end on. I always like a good one to end on. Ooh, not a bad one. What is my favorite Marvel movie? First, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I probably don't actually say that enough in classes and things like that, but I love the Marvel movies. I've seen them all. One of the things I should probably do over break, and you guys should as well. When I say break, whatever this is, I just keep calling it that. It's not. It's like trying to watch all the Marvel movies like chronologically from the first one to the last one. Apparently, it take like a couple days and stuff to do. It's not like we don't have the time for it. But favorite Marvel movie, even though I love Endgame, I think that they did a phenomenal job with that. It's actually, you guys probably could guess this. It's the first Captain America. I thought that was really good. Captain America is always my favorite superhero. So it's just cool seeing that one. Like, I thought Captain America of all the Marvel heroes is the most genuine. And it's kind of like the most like idealistic and like likable. Where Tony Stark has like kind of rough edges, things like that. Do we want one more? Maybe. Depends on it. If it's no, too complex of a question. Can't answer it in under 6 seconds. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do. Continue to do a great job on the forums. Really impressed by a lot of these questions, a lot of your essential question answers. Honestly, I would love to just read off some of those best answers. But then again, these would be 20-minute videos then, like they were for America at War, and I want to try to avoid that. So phenomenal job with those. Hope you guys are enjoying the class and stuff so far. This weekend, I'm doing this again on Saturday, May 12th. Get outside. It's supposed to be a really nice weekend. Enjoy the weather. Wash your hands. Socially distance. Drink a lot of coffee. Do a few push-ups. Believe in yourself. Believe in this country. Oh, now it's cold. Now it's cold. Don't drink cold coffee. It's awful. It's got to be piping hot where it burns when you drink it. Straight black. Hopefully my lawnmower works. 50-50 shot. We'll see what happens. Have a good one. Good Saturday. Good weekend. There it is.